All right, there we go. We're on the right. See, now after 4 minutes and 55 seconds, we can get into the show. Like, it should be a 30-second intro, and then every night it turns into 1 minute. Then it's 2 minutes. Now it's 4 minutes to get us going here. Let's jump right in to this YouTube CEO. We've cut the amount of time Americans watch controversial content by 70%. This has already happened before even the purge is coming. On the 10th, we have 5 days left, 23 hours, 52 minutes. So the YouTube CEO, Susan, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name, Wxxx, tells Leslie Stahl that the video platform is doing about hate speech in an interview Sunday on the CBS News magazine 60 Minutes. You know, I have a video on my backup channel, and it's not even monetized, and it's took out because of hate speech, because me and Ron Johnson from STFN News was breaking down the Pulse shooting live and called it hate speech. Anyway, she told 60 Minutes that Google employs 10,000 people to focus on controversial content. She described their schedule, which includes time for therapy. Stahl also said there are reports that the monitors are beginning to buy the conspiracy theories. See, we're showing so much proof that even the people that are censoring these videos are starting to see what's really going on, and they're not falling for it, and they're going to reprogram their minds by putting them in therapy. What we really had to do was tighten our enforcement on that to make sure we're catching everything, and we use a combination of people and machines. So Google as a whole has about 10,000 people that are focused on controversial content. Now, this Leslie, I'm told that it is very stressful to be looking at these questionable videos all the time, and there's actually counselors to make sure they aren't mental problems with the people who are doing this work. Is that true? It is a very important area for us. We are trying to do everything we can to make sure that it is a good work environment. Our reviewers work 5 to 8 hours reviewing videos. They have the opportunity to take a break whenever they want. I also heard these monitors reviewers sometimes are beginning to buy into the conspiracy theories. And she says, I definitely heard about that, and we work really hard with all of our reviewers to make sure that we're providing the right services for them. So apparently they're going to be stopping 70% of the controversial content. Once you watch one of these YouTube algorithms, might recommend you watch similar content, but no matter how harmful or untruthful, YouTube cannot be held liable for any content due to legal protection called Section 230. The law under 230 does not hold you responsible for user-generated content, but in that recommended thing, sometimes 1,000 times, sometimes 5,000 times, shouldn't be held responsible for that material because you recommended it. Blah, blah, blah. So YouTube started reprogramming its algorithms in the US to recommend questionable videos much less, and point users to search for that kind of material to authoritative sources like news clips. With these changes, she says that they have cut down the amount of time Americans watch controversial content by 70%. I mean, who are they to dictate what you can watch and what you can't watch? Why can't they just leave it alone, leave our speech alone? See, they're scared of the awakening because we're starting to awaken even the people that watch these videos. They're starting to look outside and see the aerosols changing their skies. But yet the mainstream are pushing propaganda and lies every single day. You know who needs to be took off of YouTube? The mainstream media. Take them off. But yet they're going to push the stupid stuff. I mean, just look through your feed. Look at the trending videos. You know, they'll show satanic, sexual music videos all day long, but hey, if you talk about a chemtrail, you're put on the list. They should be scared. And they're just going to ruin YouTube, just like they have all the other platforms. You know, why we're dealing with that, and make sure you subscribe to all the backup stuff. It's down in the description. Bookmark it. You know, whatever you got to do in case we are gone here in 5.5 days, 6 days. At least we'll have some way to put out some content. So, you know, while we got them trying to not let us see what we want to watch, man, when we search something, we should be able to watch it. We shouldn't have to let somebody dictate what we want to watch. You know, the creators made YouTube what it is in a short amount of time. They should have the say, not some billionaires sitting in an office doing, you know, holding each other's hands, whatever they're doing. Scientists resume efforts to create deadly flu virus with U.S. government's blessings. For more than a decade, 2 scientists, one in the U.S., one in the Netherlands, have been trying to create a deadly human pathogen from avian influenza. That's right, they're trying to turn the bird flu, which does not normally infect people, into a human flu. Not surprisingly, many scientists are opposed to this. In mid-2014, a group of them formed at the Cambridge Working Group and issued a statement warning of the dangers of this research. The statement was signed by hundreds of scientists in virtually every major U.S. and European university. In response to these and other concerns, October 2014, the U.S. government called for a pause in the dangerous research. But, well, it's 4 years later, and the risk and the benefits haven't changed, but the NIH has quietly just allowed the research to start again. As we learned last week in an exclusive report from the Science, I can't allow this to go unchallenged. This research is so potentially harmful and offers such little benefit to society. I fear that NIH is endangering the trust that Congress places on it. But we can't trust Congress. You know, we see this going on. You got the 2020 Olympics going on. Where is that? Japan? I think it was Japan. And they imported all these different viruses for testing, like Ebola and dengue fever and all kinds. So they imported all these crazy viruses right before the 2020 Olympic Games. I mean, it's just madness going on out here. Now, this is an old article back for 2016. Let me get a drink of my tea here. So we're always talking about the New World Order. We're talking about the implementation of the smart cities, the smart grid. You know, we're being tracked through everything. They're videotaping and recording you from your TVs, from your phones, from your thermostats, from your refrigerators, anything with Bluetooth, LED lighting, especially the new smart TVs. There was an article just come out saying that people are hacking into them and can watch you and listen to you and all that stuff. But check this out. This is just goes to show you what the plan is. So here's 12 eerie images of a huge Chinese cities that are completely empty of the people. Why are they empty? Well, I'm getting ready to tell you. Throughout China, there are hundreds of cities that almost have everything one needs for a modern urban lifestyle, high-rise apartment complexes, developed waterfronts, skyscrapers, even public art, everything except for people. Why? Well, I'm getting ready to tell you here. These mysterious and almost completely empty cities are part of China's larger plan to move 250 million citizens currently living in rural areas into the urban locations by 2026. Can you believe that? So they're going to take everybody's who's living in the suburbs and in the farmlands and force them into these mega cities. You don't think that's going to happen here? I mean, this is the New World Order plan, man. Look at this. These are all empty buildings waiting for the roundup. Look at the sky. Look at that sky. So you want the people that let this kind of sky go on, this kind of smog and pollution, and then they're going to grab you and round you up and put you into the buildings. Hell, we don't know. We know that these interbearing railroad that's going to be connecting the United States to China and Russia, they could be shipping us there. Maybe this is for us. But this is pure Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2050. It's right here. Maybe this is what they need, the high-speed railway, to get people like us that don't go along with their thoughts and shove us over here where we can't do nothing about it. It's just a giant prison. And then you'll suffocate from the air. Well, we've had 48 avalanches reported in the last 48 hours in Colorado. Snow's stacking up around the state. 30 inches of snow hitting parts of the state in less than 24 hours. 3 avalanches occurred at Crested Butte Ski Resort. So a lot of stuff like this going on. Now, I didn't get time to load up a video, but a viewer up in Oregon, we talk about the Oregon Power Company that does the cloud seeding, and she was able to ask a question on a Facebook Live to this meteorologist, and he actually answered it. So I'll have that video or that thing up tomorrow. I just didn't have time. So the biometricupdate.com, you can come over here. The ID 2020 and Partners launch program to provide digital ID with vaccines. So this is getting crazy. This is happening out in Bangladesh. They have launched a new digital identity program at its annual summit in New York in collaboration with the government of Bangladesh, Vaccine Alliance, and new partners in the government, academia, and humanitarian relief. The program is to leverage immunization as an opportunity to establish digital identity. So, man, all this stuff is total New World Order. So, now that we're starting to get wind that you have to cut people's power because of the wind, now they're starting to shut down highways because of the wind and a little bit of snow. State issued truck bans ahead of the snowstorm. This was just yesterday. Transportation officials in Pennsylvania and New Jersey have issued travel bans for some commercial vehicles in response to the winter storm. In Pennsylvania, the travel ban went into place at 6 a.m. on Monday and includes all double trailers, empty trailers, RVs, motorcycles, non-commercial vehicles, hauling trailers. So they're shutting down the highway, which will cost, people tons of money. Hey, thanks, sir. A suit. Yeah, that sucks. Before I was awake, I took a flu shot. I got the flu the next year. I took a pneumonia shot. I got the pneumonia the next year. That I didn't take a shot the next year, but I got them both. And I was never sick before that, but that was before I knew what this stuff did. That's just my experience with that stuff. Unprecedented rainfall kills hundreds in Central Africa with nearly 1 million displaced, thousands of hectares flooded, rainfall 300% above average. And we know why this is going on. It's because the atmospheric river steering. They're trying to turn the desert green again. We've been talking about this for years. An incredible downpour delivered 2 years of rainfall in just one day in a small East African nation. So they continue to suffer astonishing downpours, which started in October. Apparently, rainfall from October to mid-November has been up to 300% above average in the Horn of Africa, affecting more than 250,000 people. Remember David Miles from the Miles Research Company? They made it snow in the Horn of Africa for the first time using his weather technology. Meanwhile, nearby Kenya has affected more than 160,000 people since the onset of rains in October. Wonder if Bummer is living out there. Maybe they need to ship him back over there. In neighboring Somalia, over 500,000 people have now been affected by the ongoing floods. And it just goes on and on. And what happened is they pushed the atmospheric river is down farther south. You know, you got the big weather modification programs out here. You got the United Arab Emirates, the Climate Cron, you got the weathergenerator.net. They're the ones creating these floods, no doubt. Project Gas Buggy Test Nuclear Fracking. I don't even know where I got this article. This must be something about some old information. Scientists lowered a 13-foot by 18-inch diameter nuclear device into New Mexico's gas well. The experimental 29-kiloton Project Gas Buggy bomb was detonated at a depth of 4,240 feet. The things these guys do, so you guarantee that ruined the water aquifers. You know, they were wanting to detonate 6 nuclear bombs up in Alaska to melt, to melt it up there. Now they just use the bunker fuel. So here's more flooding. Flooding far from over as floods may shutter some farms forever. The flooding of 2019 is far from over for farmers along the Missouri River. I mean, people don't even know we're still flooded here in Missouri. Water continues to suffocate farmland. Scars are showing up in the fertile soil swept away. Abrasion with gaping holes ripping out raging currents. Cottonwood trees were washed away. I mean, the farmers have been just completely devastated in the Midwest and actually everywhere. You know, I even noticed here in my neighborhood where the Tribune Lake was so flooded that the rivers were running backwards out into people's properties. And now the water never dried up. So this one guy where he used to keep his horses is constantly has watered like this in it. And now it's like a pond, a big ass pond, a couple acres, 3, 4, or 5 acres. It just never dried up. I don't know if the sludge from the flood like sealed the farmland up. So now every time it rains, the road almost goes underwater because his front yard, his giant front yard where his horses usually are, is now a small lake, small pond, whatever you want to call it. So this come out on September 18, 2019. France gave millions of residents iodine pills while the EDF spots problems in 6 nuclear reactors. France will soon start distributing radioactive blocking iodine pills to an additional 2.2 million people living near the country's 19 power plants. Separately, man, what kind of crap do we got going over here? Separately, on Wednesday, the EDF acknowledged manufacturing problems in 6 of the reactors, while 1 in Normandy has been shut down due to signs of corrosion. What are they doing with all these nuclear plants that are falling apart and leaking? I know here in America we got tons of them are leaking. You know, Hanford nuclear site, they were going to turn it into a where you can go visit it. I mean, it's just nuts, man. They build them right on the side of the ocean, so if a tsunami comes, instant problems. Mount Rainier and the New Madrid fault zone were both just hit by significant quakes. Mount Rainier and the New Madrid fault line are both shaking, and a catastrophic seismic event at either location would cause death and destruction at unimaginable scales. You know, it's crazy. We've had tons of earthquakes in Missouri, and I haven't felt one of them. You know, I'm maybe 150 miles away, maybe more than that. I'd have to look. So we knew that we had a lot of seismic pressure coming through here. We had the 6.2, 6.4, all the sixes out in the ring of fire. So we knew seismic pressure was coming in, and now we're starting to see it all over the place. The inadvertent weather modification. I don't know if I'm going to get into this stuff. Like, I didn't have hardly any time to get ready tonight, so here's something that came out on December 1st, somebody's research. 5G is now installed and switched on across hundreds of cities in Sydney. And so his testing has begun. He's going to share the crazy high radiation levels, plus the eerie sound of radiation coming off the transmitters. The radiation from 5G is an environmental pollutant, yet you wouldn't even know it's there. My goal using specialized equipment is to reveal both the 5G beam-forming radiation sounds and how much radiation he is being exposed to from 600 meters away. So the 5G site tested was in King's Cross, Sydney. He's got the ID number here. He's set up 615 meters away from the 5G transmitter with an unobstructed view of the entire installation. The testing equipment used was the top of the line HFW 59D and then an HP 33 filter with directional antenna to zone right in on the 5G frequency being used at 3.5 gigahertz. Interesting to see that the microwave radiation figures as shown above still display the proposed configuration even though the site is fully installed and switched on. So here's the graph, the high radiation levels from 600 meters away. So here's an extreme level, and then the tested 5G site, a maximum power density of 12,600 was detected from 615 meters away. That's 12 times the IBN extreme level. This is also just the 5G transmitter alone, not including the 4G, which is also present at the site. This is a concern. He also believes that their calculation of maximum power density on their EME reports is an RMS calculation average, not a peak value. This is very important when measuring radiation from sources with a high crest factor, that it is taken into account. So he actually recorded the sounds, and it has no resemblance of the smooth high-pitched sound of the 3G or the 4G transmitters. It's highly erratic, sounds almost like static electricity. Only one can imagine what kind of biological harm this kind of field has. Just listen to the erratic sound. Here, we'll play a little bit of it. Whoa. You could probably hear voices in that stuff if you listen to it long enough. Demon voices. I probably didn't get any of these bookmarked. That's why I can always bring them back up. So here's the new magnetic levitation train out in China. This thing is faster than going by plane. This bullet train, which floats above the tracks using magnetic levitation, could soon hit 373 miles an hour, making it faster than traveling by a train. The prototype body of the science fiction vehicle was shown off the eastern Chinese city this week. You know, this is, why do they need to go so fast? Unless they're moving people great distances very quick. You know, what are they planning for? Is it the New World Order takeover or something else? The UK weather forecast 40-day freeze to blanket Britain in 11 inches of snow. Temperatures are expected to drop as low as 12 centigrade this weekend as the weather brings a record cold front settles over the UK, bringing heavy snow and ice. that may not let up till February. Well, I got news for you. It won't be there that long because they're heating the ionosphere. They're going to push that cold polar Arctic air over to the United States. That's what they're doing right now. So maybe early January it'll be out there. We still have Typhoon Kimura still going. Haven't even looked at it today. Let me go ahead and check it out. So I'll probably keep this pretty short tonight. So right now, it was a category 1 just a little bit ago, and now it's already down to a tropical storm. So it did not go even close to where it was supposed to go. Completely, it was supposed to go right up, do a loop, and go back down, or it's supposed to go up and back up to China where all the other typhoons went all year. Totally manufactured. Let's go ahead and check the mimic. I haven't looked at that today. Oh, look, now I got all the channels. I got all the channels back, so I could have looked at all the different tools that we didn't have the nights that it counted. Here they are. Here's what I was looking for. The tools are back. That is crazy. So this whole tab I've been missing while I've been covering this storm, and now all the channels are back. You know, that's funny how they hide this stuff when something's going on, and then now it's back as soon as it gets past. Tell me they don't watch this show. I know they do. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the worldview. I didn't get this thing loaded, so we're going to have to kind of load it as we go. But just as soon as I popped it up, I'm like, what are these clouds? Of course, you got tons of aerosols being deployed. You know, huge area. All the way from the Atlantic Ocean, all the way across, all the way to the Pacific Ocean. But check out these clouds and the spraying operation over Arkansas. And check this out when I click the layers. I mean, the sky is dripping with aerosols. And it even gets worse. Look at that. What is this stuff? Have you ever seen a cloud like that? So a dripping kind of aerosol is being deployed. I mean, it's really nasty, gray looking. This is not fog. This is not water vapor. Look at all the microwave frequencies all over Alabama. If you got a big headache, that's probably why you have it on top of the aerosols. Looks like Jacksonville is a big target. Goes right over right out into the Atlantic. Let me back this out a little bit to see. No spraying in the Bahamas right now. But it looks like they're going to be pulling some moisture down this way. Tennessee is getting hammered. Kentucky is getting hammered. Look, they're not only doing some low-level spraying, they're doing high-level spraying. You can actually see this aerosol and then see the shadow down on the clouds. If you noticed, all the cloud deck is much lower. Like the clouds are way lower in the sky than they should be. That's the compression event that they're doing up in the poles. It's just pushing everything down. Look, the atmospheric river is going right into Southern California. Wonder if they're getting any rain. Well, check the radars. Some strange looking clouds over Chico. Just check a couple of the layers. Santa Rosa, same thing. Aerosols all being deployed. Let's see if there's some bunker fuel tracks just right out here off the coast. You got a bunker fuel ship and chemtrails. I don't know if that'll come out. It's really not coming out. Yeah, you can see them a little bit. I can see a few of them, but it's just not standing out. It's better when they're kind of out in the open. But yeah, there's definitely some ships out here and aerosols being deployed. Actually, a lot of spraying. We'll check the total snowfall. I know it's going to be about another week for all the big heavy stuff comes. Try to breeze through this pretty quick. All the cloud formation, you know, all the cloud seeding's been going on over the desert. Aerosols over Libya. So really France is looking pretty clear right now. Spain, Portugal, you're in the clear for a day. UK, you might have 1 day of clear and then it'll be back. They're already spraying up in the north. But you are getting hit with frequencies like big time. What is this nasty stuff up in the Baltic Sea? So we have a new mass spraying operation. This looks like the biggest spraying operation on the planet, off the coast of Sweden, all over the Baltic Sea, and it's some nasty looking stuff. This is like that one wave that went through Moscow last week. That's going to do some heavy snow. So that's pretty disgusting looking skies. Looks like the Mediterranean's actually clear for a day. That's awful rare. We have some man-made weather down in Somalia, the Horn of Africa. They're sending wave after wave. And these guys right here are responsible. There's a company there in Dubai, and the other one's in United Arab Emirates. Yeah, you guys had spraying all the southern states in the U.S. are being bombarded. I'm just trying to get through this pretty quick because I can't go too much longer. I'm really tired tonight, so got a late. Didn't even get to do the health call-in show tonight. I just got home way too late. The fires are back going down here in Australia. Look at them. Actually looks like a little dust storm mixed in the fires. Tons of frequencies. You know, you had all the bunker fuel operations over here the last couple days. Look, there's still a few here. Not near as bad. Here, let me try to see if that'll come on. See if they're still out here. Yeah, they're all right there. They're still all right in this area. Maybe a couple down south. So completely engineered weather down in Australia, Tasmania, New Zealand, everywhere. Let me see if I can go up to tomorrow because they're like a day ahead. May not be able to yet. Yeah, usually this is semi-loaded. Oh, it's only loaded over to there right now. It's getting closer. Hey, thanks out there, Iron Man. Yeah, we'll keep going, man. We're just doing what we can, why we can. So yeah, man, they're getting burned out still, man. So the rain didn't put the fires out, even though they had tons of rain. All it did, wow, look at that one. All it did was all the lightning reignited these fires. This looks really bad. This looks like the Paradise Fire. There's some major stuff burning right here. Let me just add on the fire layer. Man, look at that grids. Look at the grid fire patterns. All in perfect lines. That's a grid, man. In fact, it looks like the Nazi symbol right in here. Let me let's check all the layers on this. Wow, that layer's coming in really blurry. Man, look at that. Look what they're doing to the east coast of Australia, and it's been going on for months, man. Months. And they got rain. You know, how do they... Let me back it up. We'll have to see. We know they sprayed aerosols on it in between the rains. See, I mean, they just had moisture down here and rain. So I'm just kind of going back in time to see if there's any super blatant spraying here just last couple days. Benjamin Owens thrown off YouTube already, man. That sucks. See, they're going to start dropping us like flies. Yeah, China's taken over Australia, the outer islands. Yeah, they definitely aerosoled this place. Just trying to see if I could find a good layer to pick it up. So anyway, that's mega fire down here. That's a big one there. Hey, thanks, Junebug. Unbelievable, man. That looks like the Paradise Fire smoke. So wow, that's probably going to create its own weather. Frequency clouds. And then you got this other engineered storm that's just flooding the crap out of New Zealand. Aerosols up to the north. And then you got the typhoon out here. Tons of aerosols. Also bunker fuel. You know, when these storms are created over the atoll islands, where all the nuclear detonations, at least a lot of them, I wonder if any of them particulates from that get up into these storms. Let's go ahead and check the satellite stuff. Yeah, we only got 5 days left, 23 hours, 13 minutes to see if we're still around. Then, you know, if we don't get booted the first day, then we'll start another timer on how long it takes to get booted. So I'm just kind of watching these atmospheric rivers. See, it looks like they're almost pulling the whole. They're pulling the whole atmospheric river down to the south. You could go back to any of these maps and watch this atmospheric river usually goes up and around India. Now it's going down south. The atmospheric rivers here in the Pacific, they usually swirl on up, and they usually hit right up around the Alaska, BC area, right at the line. But then they start pulling at the high pressure that they always keep over here. It's not there, but look, there's not a whole lot of moisture coming into California, even though the atmospheric river's pointed right at them. I want to try to zoom in on that side. What do we got here? We got something funny going on. A couple different things. So you can see the burst wave, how they keep it pushed off, is well back, and then we got some kind of strange signature coming from the scatter radar up in the north. Actually, that could be coming down from the Fiji Islands. Here, let me just stop this and do it a frame at a time so I can kind of see what kind of, if that's a stitching error. There's like a Z right in here. If it's a stitching error or if it's something else. Like when we see these things, sometimes they're stitching errors. But if all of a sudden it affects the water vapor, then we know it was something else. So we got to watch this loop coming down to the south. Then we get hit with that. And it's hard to tell if that pinches it off. There is moisture just going just into the mountains. So there is military radars right there, scatter radars. And that's the only place really they're letting the moisture in. So here's the same pattern that we've had almost all year long. It's been going up a little farther up into Minnesota, Wisconsin. We take it a few steps forward. So yeah, it's still, what is that? So we just had a blast of water up there out of nowhere. So that's a little bit strange. All right, we got that documented. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the visible. We'll see if we got any kind of watches and warnings going on. Yeah, the air quality is pretty crappy everywhere. So we have thunderstorm warnings down there in Southern California. Winter storm warnings for the mountains. See, we're still flooded in Missouri all the way since March. We've been flooded in Missouri since March. Same up in South Dakota, parts of Nebraska. Now we got flooding down there by the New Madrid fault line. Maybe that's part of the earthquakes. We got flooding in Arkansas, flooding in South Carolina. Let me put this on 200 frames and see what it comes out like. You know, when you watch these maps all the time, it's crazy when you see some of the crazy stuff that's going on. Like, you can just see that it's not natural in any way. So we got some winter storm warnings up in the Northeast. Sure, Radical Rouse probably snowed in pretty good up there. All right, so that's let's just check the chemtrail layer. They could call it cirrus, but we know what it is. All right, let me turn the enhancement on. I probably need to turn off the watches. Warnings are going to be in the way. Now we can see a few aerosols being deployed in the Gulf of Mexico. Look at all that spraying. I didn't even see that on the worldview map. More spraying up in Canada, Quebec. West Virginia's got a big long liner. And then Georgia's getting pounded. South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Missouri, parts of Iowa, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma. And then, of course, Southern California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado. Like, It's not getting sprayed down here like yesterday was insane down there. Let's zoom in and get a closer look down here in the Georgia, South Carolina area. Wow, yeah, look at Tennessee up here. Look at this guy did a 360 and then back down. Oh, somebody sent me some crazy flying operations off the coast of California, and I'll try to remember to bring them up tomorrow. So yeah, look at these aerosols being deployed. North Carolina, South Carolina, everybody out here. Look at that mess. That's a mess. And we're breathing that stuff. We wonder why high amounts of aluminum, barium, and all this stuff is being found at the bottom of the lakes. This is where it's coming from. Yeah, so you just got a few random sprayers out here in the Gulf of Mexico. Louisiana got, Mississippi both got hammered too. Let's just kind of head over towards the west. Total fabricated cloud system. Here, I want to make it a little bigger. I want to kind of go out here. So you got a bunch of segmented sprays out in the Pacific, and I can't really see the bunker fuel operation. Yeah, they got a big spraying operation. It looks like it winds up and goes to Oregon, Washington. And there's a new spraying operation way out here off the coast. Let's see if we can pick the bunker fuel up with this map tonight. Here, I'll try the full disc, and then if I see any, I'll zoom in on it. Probably need to put it on the micro physics. Yeah, I gotta get a little smaller than that. That's we'll try right here. Yep, I can see there's some bunker fuel operations straight out off the coast of California. Yeah, here they are right here, the white skinny lines, if you can see them, and then we got aerosols being deployed. Another operation underneath the aerosols over here. There's still not as many ships out here as normal, so looks like they've cut it down to about 0.25% of the weather mods out here with the ships. I mean, there's quite a few right there. Still not as much as the last few days. Look, there's a random sprayer out there. See, here's where they were earlier in the day. Wonder if I could zoom in on that a little better if like they show up. Yeah, it probably won't let me get out that far. We'll try. Definitely see them right there. Oh yeah, pretty blatant right there. I mean, you can't deny them. And then you got the chemtrails. Oh, there's an operation right here. I didn't see that. What's this yellow dot right there? Now that's kind of strange. It's like a little heating event. Oh wow, look, they're all all these guys are headed back towards the coast. They did a loop around. Now they're headed back towards the coast. So look, they're all headed back. There's actually more ships out there than I thought. And hopefully you guys can see that. May not be able to see it till it loads up. Oh wait, how'd I get over there? I want to go up and look at it up in Alaska here. This is where the big storms are going to be hitting here very shortly. All right, let's check the earth null just real quick because I am getting tired. And I mainly want to check the compression event real quick. We'll try to get through this real fast. So see, yep, they're still heating this side. They're going to try to push that cold back over towards the United States, towards Greenland. That's why they're heating it. And then they're also heating the Antarctic. Just make sure we ain't got no big wave weapons coming in. Oh man, I spilled my tea right on my leg. Good thing it was almost empty. So look, there's going to be some big waves form right where the bunker fuel ship operations are. 35-foot waves. Yeah, luckily it was just a tea bag landed on my leg. I didn't get too wet. Ooh, look at this spinning system over here. Look at all the carbon monoxide concentration. Is there fires going on? I didn't have the fire layer on over here. Yeah, we got some fires. More fires up in where all the chemtrails are. Up in Portland, Oregon. Out off the coast, you can see the fire smoke. Them could be controlled burns. I don't know. I haven't really, yeah, where the other chemtrails are, we got fires. They go hand in hand. So I don't know what's causing the high levels down here. So where'd it go? Where'd my, oh, there it is. So that's pretty far down there. That looks like something we should be able to see. Tried switching the layers just to see if I can see anything. Look, it's not even picking up a heat anomaly. So something is going on right here, and it's not coming from heat. Maybe the methane vents that are leaking out here off the ocean, maybe it's starting to leak from the ground. Maybe we're getting ready to have another big methane explosion here off the west coast. Look, that's through the whole canyon. So really bad air, both coasts. See, man, there shouldn't be this high carbon dioxide because they had rain, man. The sky should be clear. Look, it's going all the way up, man. We might be really keep our eye over here on the west coast. Something strange is going on. I mean, I know there's a few fires, but that looks like something more. Check the PM 2.5s. Yeah, look at the PM 2.5s. That looks bigger than them little spot fires. So, yeah, horrible particulate matter all in the air. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and call this show. Thanks for joining us tonight, a little bit later tonight. But much love out there. We're going to have to rise soon. We got 5 days, 22 hours, 55 minutes. And we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, I'm going to play some songs on the way out. I'll go to D-Lie, give away the treasure chest. And then we'll try to catch you tomorrow night, God willing. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Let's see if this thing will work. It's like delayed reaction. Yeah, rogue tea bags. Yeah, I'm just glad that wasn't fresh out of the coffee pot. Anyway, guys, much love.